You dig? You dig?
Over there. Yeah, just grab it. Over there. Yeah, just grab it.
Oh, I'm reminiscing. So I went to my channel. I looked at my old videos. I see I was having debates way back in 2014. This was when I was a Hebrew Israelite, and I was debating a Sunni Muslim. So he was trying to attempt to show me that there was a contradiction in the Bible. You know, he was trying to do a Sinetta, but I was a well-studied Hebrew Israelite. You know, so I knew what was I knew what the contradictions were and what wasn't. So when he had a so-called contradiction, I knew it wasn't. I knew that he just misrepresented the Bible and what it was trying to say. So this was a dude I know in person. So this is pretty funny. I don't know if it's that loud.
It's over there. Yeah, just grab it.
So right now I'm trying to fake him out. I'm saying over there, just grab. I'm acting like I'm talking to somebody else because I'm trying to like get his guard to drop. Because if he knows that I'm calling him to debate, then he's not going to participate. You know. So I'm trying to act like I'm cool and I'm up to nothing. I'm just calling just to see what's going on. So watch how I set him up lovely. This is funny. Like
bring it over here. No, yeah. So where was I? We going over. Oh yeah, what was the stall? Stall is a compartment in a stable or a shed for the accommodation of one animal. And what is a chariot?
Oh, lovely. This is funny.
Two-wheel vehicle for one person.
Hey.
Check it over here. Drawn by two horses.
Feedback.
Yeah. Okay. Now we're gonna read 1 Kings 4:26. Where was that? What's that? Solomon had 40,000 stalls. Oh, yeah. What was the stall? For his chariot. Stable. If a stall is used for one animal, then it is natural to assume that if there were 40,000 stalls, then there were 40,000 horses in them.
Yeah, so I used to win debates even as a Hebrew Israelite. Yeah.
So we know that there were 40,000 horses waiting for his chariots. Solomon never gave a number of his chariots. Real simple. The stalls was filled with horses. It was for his chariots. Yeah. So 40,000 stalls of horses, 40,000 horses for his chariots. We don't know how many chariots. Then 2 Chronicles 9:25 states Solomon had 4,000 stalls for his horses and chariots. So 1 Kings, the stalls were for his chariots with horses in them. 2 Chronicles, we have stalls with nothing in them for horses and chariots. So that's the difference. There has to be something in them if they have chariots. No, it says 4,000. It says 4,000 stalls. No, you're mixing it up. Read the other one. Okay. 2 Chronicles 9:25. I thought you had a Bible, my bad. 2 Chronicles 9:25 says this. Solomon had 4,000 stalls for horses and chariots. So nothing were in the stalls at this point because they were for the horses and chariots. The first one says 40,000 stalls of horses. So horses were in them. Chariots were not. They were for the chariots. So there was horses waiting in stalls for his chariots. And this one is stalls waiting for horses and chariots. Right? Hold on. So you got it? Yeah, I got the verse. All right. So we know, reiterate one more time. We know that the king says 40,000 stalls with horses in them, chariots not in them. They're waiting for the chariots. 2 Chronicles 9:25 says we have 4,000 stalls, nothing in them. They're waiting for horses and chariots. So what are you saying again? Okay. I'm just saying what the scripture said. I'm just trying to get us on one accord, one understanding. Amos 3:3 says we walk together because we agree. I'm trying to agree so we can walk together. It says Solomon had 40,000 stalls of horses. So there were horses in these stalls, and they were for his chariots. Chariots were not involved yet. 2 Chronicles 9:25 says Solomon had 4,000 stalls. It don't mention anything in them this time. And they're waiting for horses and chariots. Right?
Right, you know what I mean? Because the stalls were for horses.
Right.
It's not about how many stalls for horses. It's about how many stalls did he have.
So is that it? So the question was, a stall is just something you place horses in.
Right.
Okay. Now, to understand how many stalls did he have, did you know that he had dominion over the whole city? He had stalls all through the city. Let me read Second Chronicles 8:6. It says, and Balad, and all the store cities that Solomon had. He had mad cities, and all the chariot cities. Matter of fact, let me finish reading 2 Chronicles 9:25 first. It says, let me get that, and then I'm gonna read you how many stalls he had. They don't give a number because he had. I'm pretty sure the stalls were used for the horses, for the chariots, and war.
Right, I know.
So he had stalls all through his city. So hold on one second.
I understand that, but the thing is, it says in one part that he says he has 40,000 stalls for horses, and then the other part says he has 4,000.
Okay, so let me get that for you. And Solomon had 4,000 stalls for horses and chariots, and 12,000 horsemen. Now we have to read it fully. Whom he bestowed in the chariot cities and with the king at Jerusalem. So he had stalls all through the chariot cities. Okay, so
How many stalls did he have?
Well, he had many stalls throughout the cities.
How many stalls does it say that he had in those two verses?
Okay, now we're sticking with these two verses. That's fine. This is what I wanted to do. So now, in 1 Kings 4:26 states, Solomon had 40,000 stalls.
What you doing?
Right?
Say that again?
In 1 Kings 4:26 states, and I'm going to stop where it says stalls. I'm not going to read any further. Solomon, since stalls is, the number. Solomon had 40,000 stalls. Okay. Second Chronicles 9:25 states Solomon had 4,000 stalls. So is that the problem?
You can read the whole thing.
Nah, I just want to start right there because I want to focus on stalls. Is that the problem? That one book said 40,000 and the other book said 4,000.
Yeah, that
Okay.
is the problem. So are you saying like he had two separate locations where stalls were?
Well, I just read in the scriptures that he had dominion over plenty cities. So he was, a king. He went to war quite often. He has stalls all through the city. I can read. I can read through Chronicles. And I can read Samuel. I can read different places where he had these chariots and horses placed strategically in different cities, to defend the city. So he always has stalls in different places, ready for war. He won't have in one city. Like what would that do for the other cities if they were to try to invade them? So he has stalls in all the cities, as it says in the book. That's why I wanted to make sure that y'all read the book. He didn't just have stalls in one location, all through the cities that he dominated. So, but dealing with these two verses, now we know that traditionally stalls are for one animal, right? And now Solomon is saying in 2 Chronicles 9:25 that we now have stalls for horses and chariots. Then we know that all stalls aren't just fit for one animal. The second definition for stalls are a stable or shed for horses or cattle. So now we know stall is like a shed. You can make them as big as you want. So he made stalls fit for horses, one animal, and then he made some stalls fit for horses and chariots this time. So, hold on. Say it again. Okay. Stalls are can be for one animal or more than one. You could build them. A stall's like a shed. You could build them as big as you want, or a barn. You could make them small. You can make them big. We know in 1 Kings it says that the stalls are filled with horses waiting for chariots. So we know that those stalls had only one animal. This one, 2 Chronicles 9:25, clearly states that these stalls are waiting for horses and chariots. They're for horses and chariots. So we need horses and chariots to fit in these. So now we know that these stalls are bigger than the ones in 1 Kings. Okay? I'm not using Yakub's technology.
I know.
The only difference is in the of and for is that 1 Kings is telling you that the stalls are filled with horses, and 2 Chronicles 9 is telling you that the stalls are not filled yet, but they're waiting to be filled by horses and chariots. And that's why I was saying there's no contradiction. You got to read it.
Yeah, I guess. From the way you explain it seems like there's no contradiction.
Now, the problem is that the brother put his faith on the line. That's the problem.
Look, that statement, put your faith on the line, is really a foolish statement because you can or you can prove that this contradiction is not a contradiction. Actually, doesn't mean that there are not other ones that exist.
Okay.
Just prove this one.
That is fair. But I specifically, if you go back, did you download the audio?
No, I didn't. But I remember that part of him saying,
All right, well,
click online and he was like, yeah, I do remember that.
Right.